Turing one. I got behind on that. But I pulled all this stuff out for my little mini presentation on the Turing machine. The Turing machine next. Oh, here we go. It's not working here.
Hit the space bar.
Oh. The Turing machine was created by Alan Turing. And he created when he was writing on the computability of numbers with an application to the, I've never been able to say that, but that's one of the 5 big problems that, help me out somebody, that the one guy had. So, forgot what it was now, but you know, he came up with those 5 problems and wanted everybody to figure them out. The thing about Alan Turing's was that Dr. Church actually had one published beforehand, and with these Turing machines in there, it was such a much more refined proof of it. And so Church actually helped him get this thing published and said this is a lot better proof than mine. The Turing machine is a very simple model of a computer, and it can solve any problem that is computable. If a modern computer can run it, you can actually write a Turing machine to do it. Now, it may take a long time, it may be very complicated to do, but it will do it. Alan Turing lived in England, was born in June 23rd, 1912 in London, and he died June 7th, 1954 in Wiltlow. Now, the interesting thing about Alan Turing, and this will all be in my paper which will be published next week, is that he actually committed suicide. He committed suicide by eating an apple that he laced with cyanide. And he had he was depressed and was a homosexual, and he had arrested for indecent acts and was chemically castrated 2 years before. So he had a lot of personal issues, but his depression was so bad that throughout his life he kept mentioning suicide by apples in his autobiography, or his biography I read. It kept mentioning it, and one of the interesting things, I don't know if it's true or if it's just folklore, the bite out of the apple, that's the Apple Computers logo. Some people think that's actually symbolic of Alan Turing's suicide. He got his PhD in Princeton, and his thesis is kind of one of his lesser known papers, Symbols of Logic Based on Ordinals. He was a lot into logic and set theory. But today mostly I want to talk about this thing called the Turing machine. The Turing machine is very simple. It just really has 3 parts. It's got an infinitely long tape, and it's broken into cells. It's got a read-write head that can read a symbol on the tape and then write a new symbol on the tape. And it has a state table. The state table is kind of simple. It's defined as 5 different items on it. One of the items is the state name, and a lot of times it's just a number. The other part is the input symbol that's being read at the point of the tape. The third one is the out symbol or output symbol, my fault. It's an output symbol, and then there's a move direction there. It's either move 1 left or 1 right. And some people kind of negotiate if you can move 0. I, for one, have chosen that, at least in my demo today, we're going to be able to move 0. And the last thing is the next state, so that all the instructions in a Turing machine are made out of these 5 items, and they make up the state table.